Welcome to another video, guys. To this video, I am working back on the Camry. We're gonna get some things started here to get it ready for the road. Stay tuned.
Music bed.
On the previous video, I showed you guys how this hose is taped here because it's got cracks on it. And I don't know what's underneath here, but I can kind of hear a vacuum leak coming from this area, like a hissing sound. So I went ahead and got a new hose ordered, which is right here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get that replaced. I'm also I tightened this up so that fixed the battery light coming on, but I'm gonna take this off and clean that terminal because it's really black where it got melted, and then I'm gonna put some tape here on the rest of it. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do to get started is go ahead and let's see if this works. They have this quick disconnect kind of terminal here. I don't know about this. Doesn't seem like it works that well. So all right, I'll probably just well, I guess I could disconnect the positive anyway, so I can disconnect this side. See if that works. There we go. That way there's no power. So now I can go ahead and repair that, and then I'm gonna get a 10mm and get this nut loose. And then you can really see where this thing just, it was really messing up the wire and everything. So, and I'm gonna grab my drill with the wire brush. Safety first, so I'm gonna put some safety glasses on, and then I'm gonna clean this terminal here. Just because it's really black where all that arcing and sparking was going on. So I'm just making sure that this is clean. Gonna do the same thing on the back side. And then I'm also gonna do that here on this terminal. And this is just that's just the plastic from the the little protector that really should have been on there, but it melted away just because of all that heat. Taking this nut off here is gonna expose the rest of that terminal. And I just want to make sure that like this nut here is clean. You know, it's got a nice shiny surface. I'll put this back in here. And it's amazing what, you know, a little bit of not paying attention can really, I guess would say it could cost you. I mean, this could have almost melted the wire and kind of turned out pretty bad. So this is not, shouldn't be too tight here, just snug. And then I'm gonna clean this other nut. If you don't have some good gloves on, use some pliers to hold the nut. That way you don't get your fingers messed up in here. But all right, I'm gonna grab some tape. And I'm gonna use electrical tape first to get right in the bare wire here. And then I'm gonna get some Tessa tape to go over it. Alright, so now I can put this wire back on and tighten it up. And I'm just going to run this here on top one more time. Just so it looks good and clean. Alright, so that is one repair kind of done. So now I'm gonna go ahead and move over. So you know, this is all taped, nice and clean. Now let's move over to the intake tube. This one, I never owned a car like this, so I'm gonna have to kind of bear with me. Just to, I don't know what all has to come off. So looks like a 10mm is your good choice here on all these bolts and everything. So looks like there's a small bolt here, and I'll show you guys that hold this little bracket for the maybe cruise control cable or something. So I'm just taking this bolt off. That way I can move that out of the way and I can actually lift this up. So we have a sensor here on the air box. Now it looks like or as far as I can see, I'm gonna disconnect this other sensor that's connected to this box here. And I guess I can disconnect this little hose there. This looks like an evap purge valve or something like that. So I'm gonna disconnect this. I'm just gonna take it off over here as well. And then this one here, just so that way it looks like this whole thing's gonna come out all together. Gonna disconnect this one, which is kind of like a PVC hose. It goes here to the intake. And after that, I think this clamp will just have to come off. I'm gonna take this clamp off. I really don't want to disconnect that cruise control cable, whatever that is. There we go. So once that is all disconnected, it looks like I can pull this whole thing out. Now I guess I didn't have to disconnect or take the whole air filter box off because, put it over here. Technically, if I'd taken that bolt off, I could have just taken that piece off. But, alright, let me get situated here to get this replaced. Alrighty, so to get this hose off of here, we're gonna get this other clamp here off the bottom. Connects to this plastic piece down here, and so that lets you pretty much pull this hose out all the way. Oh yeah, so you can see, I don't know if the camera picks it up, maybe different angle. So there's a big old crack on this. And so even, I mean, the hose clamp was kind of tight on there. There was air going past of that hose through the front here because, you know, this was on the intake. And even though that hose clamp was tight right there, you know, air was going through this big gap into the intake. So that's a big issue there. And then go ahead and see, let's take this tape off just to see what it looked like underneath here. I guess not that it matters at this point, you know. I got a new hose here, but oh yeah, so you can see there's a big crack here on the bottom. So this thing was pretty much crack there as well. So that might have been getting some air. Oh yeah, look at that. So I guess that silicone job might have, you know, it probably worked for the time being. Get the car, I guess, on the road, but definitely not 100% how it should be. So this is the new hose. Everything looks pretty good. It does have different clamps, but as long as they fit, then, you know, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on here. So it looks like there's like a little tab on this box here on the bottom that you have to push through this hole in the hose. There we go. Maybe I have to lose that clamp, so let me get a screwdriver for this. Don't look like it's gonna be either one of these. Nope. Get a flathead, that always works. All right. So I just have to make sure that this hose is all the way in, which it is, and then I'm just gonna tighten up this clamp here. Definitely, I would say this was one of the less expensive hoses. You have a couple options. I actually ended up getting this from Amazon. It was like 19 bucks. And it's not bad. I mean, it looks good, and, you know, obviously it's not going to have the holes, but Rock Auto had two options as well. They were a little bit more expensive, and then they charge shipping. So definitely, I mean, it's going to fit on this side and everything, but I mean, honestly, I could tell the factory hose, when it was good, it was probably a better quality, but obviously with the big hole on it, that's not so good. So I'm gonna set you guys down over here so I can get that hose back over here. Gonna go ahead and clamp this filter box down. Remember this cable, that's why I left it unplugged from here unhooked. So I'm gonna actually see if I can get it pushed in this side first. to loosen this just a tad bit. If the hose clamp's gonna end up being too small, I mean, I have new ones, but or I have the ones that came with the factory hose, right? So I can always change those out. That's just pretty tight in there, so. All right, so we got that in there. Let's see about this other side. You know, I mean, you guys' way, but. All right, so definitely pretty tight in there. I mean, I guess it's better that if it's nice and tight than the opposite, which would be loose, then, you know, you would have a backing leak. So definitely the clamps should have probably been a little bit bigger, but they're still holding on. They're still tightening up, so that's good. So that's nice and tight in there. Overall fit pretty good. Let's see this vacuum hose here. That fit good. Get that clamp put back in there. And then I'll connect the electrical connectors here for these sensors that I unplugged earlier. This evap hose, I'll put the clamp back on there, and then this hose as well. And this hose should be on here. It has this little kind of holder, I guess. All right, everything looks good. I just gotta put the clamp here, or the bolt for these clamps here for the cruise control cable and the throttle cable here that was on the airbox. Get my 10mm back. Make sure you don't lose that 10mm or it doesn't break off, because you'll never see it again. And so I just want to double check all the hoses are good. Everything is tight. Everything's good to go. I'm gonna put this battery cable back on. And that is good to go. Well, definitely I do not hear that hissing sound here from the intake that I heard before. So definitely doesn't have that vacuum leak. Should run better. I mean, I didn't really run it too much, but should run better without that vacuum leak and everything. Sometimes that idle had like a little miss, and that could have been from that air getting past there, you know, it's trying to compensate. So I still got a few more things to do. So I still have to obviously do an oil change on this. I ordered this mount because it's all cracked, you know, so I'm gonna change that as well. And so I'll probably do that in the other video. The other thing that I did was I kind of cleaned the inside a little bit, you know, just the dash, that shifter, but I'm gonna get in here with my carpet cleaner and clean the carpet. I removed those seat covers that were in here, so the seats are not ripped. I'm gonna go to the local U-pull part place and see if I can get the lid too. So I'll probably clean up the interior or do the other parts here, as well as the brakes. These brakes are pretty much gone, so I did order new brakes. You know, that's important if you're going to be driving this car every day. So stay tuned for the next video, guys. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.